All right, so chapter 8 starts with just talking about polygons in general. So let's go ahead and start filling in the top part right here. So we have a polygon is a closed figure. Obviously, open means sides don't meet. So it's a closed figure formed by three or more line segments called sides. Okay, so that's a polygon, three or more line segments. All right. So the sum of the interior angle measures of any polygon is created by knowing how much a triangle adds up to. Okay. So a triangle has three sides. There's one triangle in there, one triangle. We know that the interior angles of that add up to 180 degrees. Okay. So then we also have a square here. So the square is, let me see. The square, you can create two triangles within it. Okay. So that means, so since there's two triangles, you would take 180 degrees times two, which is 360 degrees. That's where the fact that a quadrilateral adds up to 180 degrees, its angles add up to 180 or 360 degrees. That's where that comes from. It comes from the fact that there's two triangles in it. Okay, so let's talk about a pentagon. So if you draw diagonals from one corner, there's one, two, three triangles in a pentagon. So three triangles. So if you needed to, you could take your calculator. I don't know if you can see my calculator. You could take your calculator and do 180 times three, and we get 540 degrees for the sum of the interior angles of a pentagon. Okay, so hexagon, one, two, three, four triangles can be created when you draw the diagonals. Okay, so that would be four triangles. I mean, if you're noticing the pattern, three sides has one, four sides has two triangles, five sides has three triangles, six has four, seven has five, six, seven, eight. So there's that pattern right there. Okay, so basically all you do is you take 180 degrees times the four triangles. So that would be 180 degrees times 4 is 720. You would obviously use your calculator, but you don't have to. A seven-sided figure has five triangles. It has two less triangles than number of sides, two less triangles than number of sides, two less triangles than number of sides. That's going to be important in a minute. So if you multiply that out, this one would be 900. I'm going to go ahead and just fill in the rest of these. 1,080, 1,260, and 1,440. Okay, to be honest, I've oftentimes have a lot of these memorized. Um, because I haven't taught it in a while, they're not like 100% fresh, but I guarantee you that in like one lesson, like after this lesson, these are going to be like, oh my gosh, I have these memorized again. So if you want to memorize them, you can, but there is also this formula right here, the interior angle sum formula. Okay, so n represents the number of sides. If you subtract 2, that's how many triangles there are, so you multiply by 180. Okay, so the sum of the interior angles is equal to the number of sides minus 2, number of sides minus 2, and then multiply that number by 180. Okay, so you can do that for any size polygon. Okay, so for a 15 gun, so I would do 15 minus 2, put that in parentheses, multiply by 180. A 21 gun, you would do 21 minus 2, multiply that by 180. Okay, a 48 gun, 48 minus 2, multiply by 180 degrees. You could just say 34 times 180 if you want to, because you now know the formula. Okay. These totals right here, you can go ahead and total those up if you want to. Let me just do a couple of them. So this would be 19 times 180. So I would do 19 times 180 on my calculator, and I get 3,420. Simple math. This one would be 34 times 180. Simple math. 6,120 degrees. The sum of the interior angles. Okay, so let's go to the backside. All right. A regular polygon is a polygon where all sides are congruent and all angles are congruent. So if it's regular, it's like perfect. Okay. So the measure of a single interior angle, you can just take the number of degrees on the inside and divide by the number of sides. Okay, so let's talk about a pentagon. All right, if you did not memorize already that a pentagon has 540 degrees in it, you would actually do n minus 2 times 180. Okay, so that would be 5 minus 2, so 3 times 180, and you would get 540 degrees for the total of the inside. So how do you figure out? It says find the measure of each interior angle. Well, if it's a pentagon, it has 5 of those angles, right? So take 540 and divide by 5. Okay, and for that you get 108 degrees each interior angle of that pentagon. So if I were to draw a regular pentagon, it's pretty good. I know that they all add up together to 540 degrees, but I have to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal angles. So my final answer on that one was 108 degrees. Okay, so this would be 108 degrees, that one, and so forth. Okay, you would do the same thing for a regular 18 gun. Now, I don't have 18 sides memorized, so the first thing I have to do is find the total. So n minus 2 times 180. So I'm going to do 16 times 180. Take 16 times 180 on your calculator. I got 2880 for my total. And then I'm going to take 2880. And what would I divide it by? 18, because I'm trying to find each individual interior angle. So there's 18 of them. So 2880 divided by 18 equals, and I got 160 degrees. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the sum of the exterior angles. So the sum of the exterior angle measures. Let's talk about what an exterior angle is. Okay. So when you draw a shape, I'm just going to draw a triangle right now. When you do the exterior angles, you want to do this one, and then you don't want to do this one right here. You want to extend that way, and then you want to extend that way. So you have the 3 exterior angles in the same direction around that shape. Okay. So if this is regular, you know that that's 60, 60, and 60, right? So this would be 120, 120, and 120. All right. So what does 120, 120, and 120 add up to? 20, 40, 60, 1, 2, 300. 360 degrees on those exterior angles. Okay. So now watch what happens right here. I'm going to take 180 minus the 79 to get this angle. That would be 101, correct? 101 degrees. I'm going to take 40 minus 180, and I get 140 right here. Okay. And I get 61 right here. So 180 minus 61, that would be 119 degrees. So I want you to total those up for me. What does 119 plus 140 plus 101 make? So I did one regular one for you, and this one is not a regular polygon. So what I'm going to show you right here is we can go through and do all of these, but every single shape, the sum of the exterior angles, as long as you are going around in the same direction and extending those sides, the sum of these exterior angles always adds up to 360. The sum, this, and this adds up to 360. This, and this adds up to 360. If you don't believe me, try it. Okay, let's do one more. So left over from 180 right here, that would be 51. Left over from 180 right here, that would be 56. Left over from 180 right here, 68. Left over from 180 right here, that's 57. Left over from 180 right here is 63. And left over right here is 65. So I'm going to go ahead and add all those up. Let's do it right here, see if you guys can see it. Okay, so I'm going to do 65 plus 51 plus 56 plus 68 plus 57 plus that is 63, and I hit enter and I get 360 degrees. So that's a new definitely like a theorem postulate definition that you need to know, that the sum of the exterior angles is always 360 degrees. Okay, so sum of exterior angles is congruent or equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at a couple of these examples right here. So let's look at what is the measure of each exterior angle of a regular hexagon. So exterior angle, you don't have to total them up. You don't have to go around. You know the exterior angles add up to 360, but how many of them are there in a hexagon? 6, correct? So that would be 60 degrees. So each one is 60 degrees. Okay, what is the measure of each exterior angle of a regular 24gon? Exterior angles add up to 360. Easy, divide by 24. So 360 divided by 24 is 15 degrees each. It would make sense that in a 24gon, each exterior angle would be smaller, right? There's a lot more angles to add up to 360. Okay, let's look at number 9. If the exterior angle of a regular polygon measures 12 degrees, how many sides does the polygon have? Okay, so if we know the exterior total is 360, but I don't know how many sides it has, right? I do know that it is 12 each. Can't you solve that? Okay, so right here, instead of dividing these two out and getting that, you actually don't know that, but you have that in this question. So just going to create a proportion. 12m equals 360, divide by 12, and we get 30. So how many sides does a polygon have? 30 sides. Okay, so let me do that again. If the exterior angle of a regular polygon measures 40 degrees, the total is 40 degrees. How many sides does the polygon have? I don't know how many sides it has, but I know I need to divide it into 360, right? So this is just a proportion. 40n equals 360, so n equals 90. So that means that, oh, I'm sorry, 9, not 90. 9. So that means it has 9 sides. Okay, so I want you to completely skip this worksheet. You do not have to do this worksheet at all, but I do want you to do this worksheet. We're going to do the odds on that worksheet, and you also need to do page 511, number 27, and 513, number 38. All right, good luck.